Welcome back,
Hello everyone,
everyone.
welcome back. Ah, oh my, what a game
We
week.
were not in really a mood to do this today.
I don't even
At
want to
least,
talk about it.
at least 66% of this group wasn't, but
let's
here we are.
let's start with the second important match.
The biggest match of this game week, United versus United.
Oh man,
It was
what a
terrible.
terrible, terrible match. See,
And again, goalkeeping howler. Like we thought Onana was the only one,
yep,
but it
yep.
runs in
I
the
I
DNA.
told you guys, if Binder makes mistake, we'll feel that Onana is better, and that's what I'm feeling. Onana is
But
not
still,
actually that bad.
he made a mistake at 3-1. It wasn't like at like 1-0 or
Yeah,
something.
true.
But
But then again, like not
I
a
mean,
good
yeah,
audition to for the first place.
exactly. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, I was reading
He
someone
had
on
a
Twitter.
chance.
Yeah, I was reading someone on Twitter saying that just leave the goal open against Leon. Like, I think you have a better chance not to concede.
I feel Tom Heaton should play now.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
some academic grad.
There were mistakes made throughout the game. Like first half was pretty solid by both the sides.
yep.
Mm.
Newcastle amazing goal. United trying to play out of the back, but then one too many passes. Ugarte, I believe, ended up giving the ball to
Gone.
Newcastle,
Yep.
and then
Mm.
Isaac with a lovely assist
To Tonali.
Yeah.
to Tonali. Yeah, and Tonali was a menace in first half,
Yes.
and then
Yep.
I
Harvey
think,
Yep.
Barnes in the second half.
yeah, I think Tonali was given the man of the match if I'm not wrong. Or was it Barnes? Like, either of those.
So yeah,
But
Yeah.
both of them had
Tonali
really good
gave
games.
a lot of trouble to United in first half. Like he
Hmm.
clearly had two more chances at least,
yep.
Yeah.
which were defensively United was not that bad in first half, to be honest. It was a good
Yep.
45 minutes.
Then
But
Yep.
then
second
second
half,
half, oh my God.
the second goal itself, like where was the defense? A ball coming through from the wing, a sliding ball, not even a lofted ball, making all the way to the other side of the post, and then
Jacob
fully,
Murphy, yeah.
Jacob Murphy
Yep.
fully
Yep.
open.
Yep.
Terrible. And then
Even,
Terrible. Terrible.
Mazarawi
even,
slip.
yeah, Mazraoui slip. Even the third goal, right? I think I did not know Barnes had so much pace. He literally ran between the two defenders and just slotted the ball.
Yeah,
So, yeah, and the last goal was a mistake. It was clearly a mistake.
not a
Like,
good pass from Binder,
yep.
intercepted. It was
Yeah.
Joelinton, right, who intercepted, or
Yeah, Joe, I think he did a Jordan Linton to
Joelinton.
intercepted and then Bruno
I think
Guimaraes
he,
scored.
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
he got the assist.
Yep,
both Brazilians.
yep. What I've been hearing is there is a lot of pressure on Amorim right now.
It should be.
Yep.
Yeah. So as per few Twitter handles, uh, he is furious and like he has given ultimatum to all the players
Hmm.
as per those handles that you either perform or all of you are out. So that's the talk right now. He's not happy with Onana,
Hmm.
possibly looking to sell him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He is not happy with any of the players.
I saw one of
Uh,
the images on Twitter or Instagram, I don't remember, but Onana coming to the training with his agent.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if that was a like today's photo or from some previous time. But if that is the case, then it doesn't look good for Onana.
I
that's
just feel,
not
yeah,
even professional.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of, I think Pogba used to do that, and that is why he was sold by Sir Alex because
Mhm.
he didn't want like the agent to be involved.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's like the cycle which is just haunting United. Like a manager comes in, brings his players, gets sacked, new manager comes in, doesn't want his players, rinse and repeat. I think it has been going on for a while. The same thing is happening right now. Ten
Yeah.
Hag brought in a lot of his players, like Onana is his, Lisandro Martinez is his, Mason Mount came under him,
Many players.
Hoyland, yeah, a lot of players. Hoyland
Oiland,
came
Ugarte,
under,
all of them, in fact.
Ugarte,
Yeah.
Xerxes. So most of the first team currently playing are from uh,
Ten
Ten
Hag.
Hag's
Yeah.
Ten
regime.
Hag, and now again, like you bought Amorim for a 3-4-3 system, but you clearly don't have the players for it.
Yeah.
And now you would need to rebuild again. They bought Drogu, who is like
Wing back.
wing
Wing
back,
back. Yeah.
but then other players are not suitable for that role. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of rebuilding again for United.
I mean,
Injuries
I
are hampering United's chances too. Like we are changing team week in, week out. No steady
Yep,
11 for quite some time, I'd say. It's
yep,
yeah.
always one either a defender out or some midfielder out. Only consistent players, two players I believe who have been consistent in the lineup are Diego Dallo and Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep, yep. Yeah, Bruno
And
Fernandes is an exception to be honest. Like doesn't get injured.
Yeah.
if one player I would keep, it would be him.
Yep,
Definitely. Like,
yep.
he is the
There will be very
reason
few.
we are
We should
not
certainly do a
even.
video of whom United should keep and sell.
Yeah. Good idea.
Not Onana for sure.
There will be many on the list.
Yep,
We can
yep,
look
I
at
think
their
I think
contracts.
most of the first team right now we are looking to sell. So
Mhm.
uh, I read Lindelof will be completing 8 years at United.
mm,
Like his contract is
Luke
running out
Shaw's
this summer.
completed 10.
10 years exactly. So we have kept players for far
Yeah.
too long
Yeah.
without even them playing or like even
I would
performing at.
say like Aiden Heaven, when he was given chance, he was looking solid before his
yep,
injury.
yep.
And then good to see that few of the players are back in the squad. Little late in the season, but only hope is to salvage Europa League.
Europa.
Correct.
Yeah.
Uh, but then again, looking at the goalkeepers, that looks highly unlikely.
And overall, I think the emotion at the club is not so good. The confidence is not so good. I'm very
Players are
scared
mentally
for Leon.
down.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah,
Players are down. Their morale's not up. I do also think should Amorim be a little flexible with his system, because it's been around 4 months that he's there with United. Like his system worked in Lisbon, no doubt,
yep,
but he knows like it's been 4 months. At least he has the idea that the players are not suiting his system. So maybe just to salvage the season, adopt some new system where the best use of these players available are made. Like we don't have too many wingers right now.
mm,
The wing backs like Dallo is okay sometimes. Dorgu, even I'm not highly impressed by him. He has pace, but then he has decent cross. I wouldn't say the best of crossers, but again, like sometimes he's a defensive liability, and sometimes he gives away ball when passing as well.
yep,
hmm
Uh, Goalkeeper is a position we need to refresh for sure. Uh, so looking at that, right? And when you're playing against yesterday as well, like I did not understand why long balls were played when you know Zirkzee is, though he's 6 foot 3 inches, but he's not as good with headers,
yep.
and especially coming up against a giant
Dan
like
Burn.
Dan Burn.
Oh
Yep,
yeah, yeah.
So we were losing many a times possession when we were playing that long ball from the back. So rather try to build game and then play it ahead
yep.
to make use of Xerxes' pace versus Danburn's comparative lack of pace.
And there was Xerxes was almost close to score one of the goals of the
Oh, that
season. Like,
that was a brilliant
Yeah,
move, I'd
yeah,
say.
yeah.
yep,
He could have just taken a second more and composed himself before shooting it first time.
yep,
hmm
exactly. And he had he shot on the ground, it would have been a difficult save for Pope. But he
Yeah,
literally shot at Pope.
he's
So
Yeah.
straight at Pope. So and he had time. Like the passing was so good, the game build up was so good. He
yep,
had a second at least to gather the ball, to hold the ball at his feet, and then make a decision where to shoot.
correct,
But that lack of decisiveness cost United that first opportunity.
correct, correct. But yeah, again, had come the summer, I don't think so. Onana is going to be there. I think a lot of players might be sold. But again, United will be taking heavy losses on these players.
True.
So
Yep, yep, yep.
yeah, but
So
yeah,
bad result. United languishing in 14th. Even Everton, who were struggling, are above United on the table just based on the goal difference, and Wolves are closing in as well.
Yep, yep.
Tottenham are 2 points off United. So United could wait. Just that the three teams which are in the relegation zone, they are so bad that uh, that is the only thing probably holding up United. Otherwise, it would have been a relegation battle. for
Yep,
sure.
Hmm.
yep, for
And
sure.
Bruno Fernandes as well.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
Yep. I think the next one which we were planning to do is let's do City versus Palace.
a
The
good
f-
comeback
Yeah.
from City. I mean, like we
Yes.
so most of, all of us had predicted Crystal Palace to score 2 goals, and that's what
Yeah.
happened. Amir got his prediction right with City winning.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but a good game for City, no doubt. And again, like fourth place is the only thing that they can, or like European competition, Champions League is the only thing they can accomplish
Mm-hmm.
from this season. And I'm guessing they are turning on the screws at the right time.
Yep. Yep. De Bruyne
I
with
mean,
a masterclass, to be
Yeah,
honest.
amazing comeback. Amazing.
What a
Like
performance by him. Yep.
true.
uh,
Brilliant game.
overall, I mean, City in especially in second half. First half was a little bit dodgy. I feel. But then the comeback like 2-2, and then second half was like Palace had no chance at all. Like it was City all over place.
Yep. Yep.
Um.
And then even I think Guardiola went up to Glasner and did say like nice try, but again you are coming at the home of the champions, and De Bruyne literally played out of his skin that game. Like the free kick, the assist to Marmoush, and then
Yep.
even like his game was. I think the third goal also he gave the assist to Kovacic.
Kovacic, yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
and then a couple of City players which are coming in. James McAtee, he is looking like a
Solid.
really good player.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but then again, one player which I need to talk about is Foden. He's just fallen off the cliff this season. Like
True.
no one is talking about him anymore.
He was
So
given the young player of the season last year, right?
yes, yes, he was one of the best players last season, and he
And was he
hasn't.
the player of the season as well? Uh, or was it
Wasn't it Haaland?
Haaland?
I mean, I'll be
Yeah.
surprised, honestly.
Because Philip Foden was there in both goals and assists, so I thought it could be. But he was given some award, probably the young
Hmm.
player of the year.
Hmm. Hopefully not the Manik Chand
Filmfare
award,
IFA award.
Filmfare IFA award, sponsored by.
But then again, I'm totally there with you, Loken. So Foden's form has dived off a cliff this season.
Yep.
It took him quite a while to register his first goal this season
Hmm.
for City. He did score a couple last month, I believe, but then again, like not consistent, nowhere near his best. And that has been like that is a sign of City's struggle, right?
Yes.
This season. So Foden's form, Rodri not being there. Uh,
David Silva.
Haaland is, yeah,
Bernardo Silva, sorry, not
Bernardo.
David
Bernardo.
Silva.
I was
Yep.
wondering
Bernardo
David Silva.
Silva.
So Bernardo Silva looking off pace, Kevin De Bruyne with his injuries and looking
Yep.
off pace
Yep.
in few games as well. I wouldn't
Yep.
deny that.
Yep.
Haaland
Ederson.
scoring goals, but then Haaland's game is kind of uh, not suiting, I would say, City's game overall. Like
Yep.
not suiting. Like he was tremendous last 2 seasons, helping City win left and right. But this season, he was not at his best.
Correct.
Yep.
And
Yep.
even though other players, right, Ruben Diaz has dropped off. John Stones
Mm.
is continuously injured. Akanji is not playing out of his skin.
Yeah.
Ake is playing okayish. And
And
then,
I feel the two wingers, right, Savinho and Jeremy Doku, they are not looking like the best of Pep signing.
yes, correct,
Hmm.
correct,
And
correct.
we forgot to mention the 100 million player.
Yeah, Grealish. Yep. Even not even Grealish, right? If you look at Ederson this season, has been shaky. Literally gave away those from 3-0 to 3-all against Feyenoord.
Mm,
And a lot of players like Guardiola, 90 million player, hasn't like stepped up. He's more of an attacker than a defender.
true.
Yep. Yep.
And it's just like luck that City are like Forest have dropped points, and then there is a lot of competition below. But City, it kind of seems difficult, but they should be able to like make it to Europe for sure.
True. And mentioning Ederson, he has more goals assists combined in Premier League than Hoyland this season.
Wow, wow.
Uh,
And just for some context, right? So De Bruyne is gonna go to MLS or Saudi,
yeah,
but
Hmm.
rumors are City are gonna try to target Fury in Worlds.
Florian Wirtz.
Hmm.
Uh, and the valuation of that player is 140 million. So
Wow.
Maybe he's
It's
young.
not
He
a
has a
big thing for City. 140.
true. It's not a big thing for City. The reason is
116 will
he's
make it 117. That's it.
exactly, exactly. So the thing is, he's young. He's 20. He's contracted until 2027.
Mm,
So Leverkusen might not sell him for cheap, especially if Alonso leaves. They will not let him
Hmm.
go for cheap for sure.
true.
So yep,
But then this
City.
season, Leverkusen will be found out. Like there will be
They
players going out of Leverkusen for sure.
yep. I
Yep.
think
Yep.
Jonathan Tah is already going to Bayern Munich next year.
Bayern, yeah, free. Or Barcelona or Bayern
But yeah, but either of these. I
on
think it
free
was
transfer.
on
That
free
too.
transfer exactly. Pretty sure Jeremy Frimpong will also go,
Yeah,
Mm.
and then maybe
Grimaldo will probably go.
yeah, Grimaldo, Patrick Schick. I think a lot of players have been
Mm,
will be picked off.
true.
Yeah. I think if
Yeah,
Alonso leaves, then most of them will go. If he manages to stay, or if he somehow decides to stay, then probably he will try to retain his team,
yep,
most of his team. But
Alonso's departure would heavily rely on this game week
yes,
yeah,
in
yeah,
yes,
Champions League.
yes. If Madrid are able to pull it, hats off to Ancelotti. But
Yeah,
if not, there are a heavy rumors that he'll be sacked if he
yeah,
loses this one. Yep,
yeah.
yep. I think next we can talk about Arsenal itself. Destroying Madrid 3-0 at home and then drawing 1-1 at Brentford. And I think I predicted
you
a draw.
predicted it. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
exact score line.
Yeah, I was pretty sure because they didn't play Saka, they didn't play their main. Surprisingly, he
Hmm.
played Rice, I think, in midfield,
Yeah,
and I was surprised why is he doing it. But he played the same team, and then again because of being so reliant in the midweek, right? Having such a brilliant game, they were. I wasn't surprised that they dropped points, even though they were leading at the first,
Hmm.
but they eventually dropped the points. So
but as we discussed, right? Like they played Tierney, Kieran
yep,
Tierney. They played Zinchenko, who were not regular starters. Jorginho,
yep,
uh, then Nwaneri. So no, Nwaneri has had a good impact, but he's not a regular starter for them. Like that's Saka's
correct.
position. So we discussed that during our prediction video that most of the first team players would be sitting out,
Yep,
and
Hmm.
that's what there was no Merino to score
correct.
headed
Yep,
goals
yep,
ahead.
yep.
So that's what probably impacted Arsenal's performance.
Yep.
Brentford putting up a resilient display. Uh,
And I even think they deliberately gave it away. I think they have given up on the challenge already. So
Yep.
even though it's mathematically possible, but losing like 6 games is next to
Yep.
impossible for
so
Liverpool. So I think the only way is to win their first ever European trophy, to do like to prove something, and Arteta would definitely be behind it.
I think there are a couple of first timers like PSG first time. They
mm,
might win for the first time.
Hmm.
Arsenal first time. I think Villa have already won like when they
once,
were
yeah,
once, yeah. And then Barcelona, I think 5 or 6 times. I think five.
five.
So
Five.
Barcelona
Yeah.
five.
yeah, Barcelona five, I think. So
Bayern are there. They are with
at five, yeah.
7 or 8. No, Bayern are 7 or 8, right?
No, it's
No,
Madrid
Milan
15,
is
Milan 7, Liverpool
seven.
6, then Bayern,
Five then.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I think again, if my prediction is true, then it's Barcelona who win it or PSG.
Okay, Barcelona, Bayern are with 6.
Oh, Bayern are with
Yeah.
6. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. And then talking about
possible
hopefully
champions.
possible champions, two more if they win the last two more games.
Yeah,
Then Liverpool should be champions in 2 game weeks. Again, a very nervous victory
at the end, right at
at
the
the
end.
end, right at the end. I was seeing the match. Liverpool literally were dominating till 60 minutes, but did not want to score a goal.
Hmm.
And at the 85th minute, West Ham score via an own goal. And I
Yeah,
seriously thought that Van Dijk and Robertson would just kill each other. But luckily, Van Dijk comes up with a goal at like the 89th minute to win the match.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
Salah, I liked Salah's assist which he provided for the first goal for Luis Diaz. That was a really good assist from him.
And Salah has now become the only player with 45 goals and assists in a Premier League season. He is
And
beaten.
Wow.
uh, there
That's
was
in the
Andy Cole,
42. I think
42
that's in the 42.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Salah has now overtaken Henry and Haaland in there.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And like again, a really good game. He signed a 2-year contract as well.
Yeah.
So now considering that he has signed a 2-year contract, I wouldn't be surprised if he reaches the top four or the top three in all-time Premier League goals. Until he does like an Aubameyang, which I
Be there for one more season before like going off to South. He'll probably try to break Harry Kane's record,
yep,
the second of
Mm.
the second best scorer, and then because 260 is very far-fetched.
260 is impossible. Yeah, 260 you
Yeah.
need
I
to
mean,
be 80 from 18 playing in the
Yeah.
same league, basically.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Only Kane had that chance, but again, he also left for Bayern. So
Yeah, even if Kane comes back, say next season, if he happens to come back, he'll get 20. He's on 213 now, right, Kane?
Hmm.
208, I 208
208.
or
So he'll
I
need
think
at
he's on.
least 3 seasons.
Yep,
Uh, and he's already 30 or 31 right now.
correct.
So it won't be
It is
easy for him.
possible, but it is possible for him. But then he has to be like
He has to play for City or Arsenal
at top, like
or
how he
Liverpool.
was
Yeah.
in 25, 26. Scoring 30
Yep.
goals, 25 goals.
Oh, sorry. So Harry Kane is on 213 and Shearer is
213.
on 2. So he needs 47 goals to beat
Hmm.
Shearer's, and that's like a
So
2, 3 year.
2 seasons.
Yeah,
Actually,
two
it's not.
seasons.
It's not really impossible.
Yep. Yep. Had so you remember City were trying for Kane a
Mhm.
season before when uh
Before
K-
Haaland.
before Haaland, and then who's Daniel Levy did not let him leave.
Hmm.
Had he
They were
gone to
offering
City,
100 million.
yeah, had he gone to
Yeah,
City, I'm pretty sure he would have broken Shearer's record easily.
For sure.
easily. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And one good thing about Kane is his hold-up play,
Yes.
which
Hmm.
Haaland is not that well at.
And Haaland is actually physically built for hold up play,
Yeah,
but
but he's
doesn't
more
do
of
it.
a runner.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly. And then what other big game was there? Chelsea versus Ipswich.
Chelsea, Ipswich, yeah.
Chelsea
Jadon Sancho,
switch.
the freedom fighter, scoring at the end.
And kind of Ipswich were leading 2-0 in the game.
Yeah,
And everyone was rooting for them, but then Chelsea just came back, drew 2-2. Cucurella and Sancho for Chelsea, and then
yeah.
I think it was
Liam Delap. No,
Liam
not.
Delap,
Yeah, and one more.
Enciso.
Enciso, Julio Enciso,
And
yeah.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think so. It was Delap. No, it was not Delap. It was someone else.
Johnson. It was
Johnson.
Ben
Yeah,
Johnson. Yeah, yeah,
So both of
correct,
the players providing assists for the other player.
correct.
yeah.
Goals.
And but then Ipswich couldn't just hold their victory, and Chelsea drew. Now
Yeah.
again, asking the same question. So I think Liverpool are first, Arsenal second. Do you think Forest drop out now with the loss against Everton? Again, Forest literally lost at the last minute
Yeah.
because of two defensive mistakes. One by Murillo, I think,
Yeah.
and then I think there was one more defender who couldn't cut the through ball, and Doucouré scored.
Looking at the form, I think Newcastle and Aston Villa are in much better form.
Yes. So what do you think?
Um,
Third.
I still think Forest will qualify
Hmm.
either fourth or fifth. They do have tough matches.
Yep.
I think they're playing City next. Oh no,
Spurs, they're
Spurs
playing
next.
Spurs.
Spurs next.
That's
Yeah,
that's not
and
right.
I think one
That two
Chelsea
away.
match. Chelsea, I think, is
They're
one of them.
playing. They have Chelsea at the very end, which could be possibly the decider.
The decider. Yep, yep, yep.
Then they
And I
have
think Spurs is
Crystal Palace
next.
away.
Yeah. So overall, I think Chelsea and Spurs are the only two matches which I feel might give them trouble. But Palace,
Palace could be a
Leicester,
tricky one too.
That's away. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Palace
Palace
away, but
away.
Leicester, West Ham away as well.
West Ham, I
Like,
wouldn't give it that much because West Ham aren't in the best of form themselves.
Yep.
yeah,
Palace
it's
away
like
is one tricky fixture.
yeah. So I still think they will pull it through.
They'll pull it.
Chelsea actually have difficult fixtures. So Chelsea are yet to play Everton, but Everton at home.
Hmm.
Liverpool at home. Then they
Hmm.
have Newcastle away, United at home, and then Forest away.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Chelsea has difficult fixtures amongst the two.
So okay. So Amay, what do you think? Forest, and then so let's look at the three. So like first Liverpool, second Arsenal, third being Forest, as per you.
Uh, I think City will go up,
City
possibly
third.
third.
Okay. Fourth.
Then possibly either Newcastle or Forest, one of them.
Okay, and then
Yep.
fifth.
And then fifth will be like the other one.
Okay,
So
got it.
Newcastle and Forest probably will exchange places,
Hmm.
either fourth or fifth.
Hmm.
Uh, but I still think there's a chance for obviously Chelsea as well, but they are known to drop points whenever there is like a crunch game. So
Yep.
I think they will still go for Europa though. Right? I
Hmm.
don't think they'll
Sushant.
drop down.
So I predict Nottingham to drop out. So based on the form, Newcastle to be third,
Okay.
City fourth,
City fourth.
and
Okay.
fifth possibly Aston Villa,
Wow. Hmm.
because
Hmm.
Villa are on a roll,
Yep.
uh, and they are firing on all fronts. So your Champions League looks difficult right now. After
Mm.
last week's performance against PSG. But then they have FA Cup as well, so they will get into Europa like they have a chance to get into Europa. But I feel they would want to push ahead with especially with their signings. They have good backups now
Yep.
after the January transfer window. So I feel they will go all in for it. They have
Hmm.
some tricky fixtures. They are playing Newcastle next, but at home, their
Then
home.
City.
Mhm.
Then City
City.
away,
Yep.
Yep.
and then possibly United away. But
Yep.
I
And the
wouldn't count that as
Spurs
difficult.
home as well.
Spurs home as well, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
So, but I still feel Aston Villa could make it to top five.
Hmm.
Mm.
So your prediction is Newcastle United, then City,
Yeah, and
and
then
then
Aston
Villa.
Villa.
Hmm. I kind of feel Newcastle United third.
Mm.
They will win this game in hand against Crystal Palace on Wednesday. So they got third. I think fourth will be City and fifth is Forest. I think Villa just have too many difficult games, and I think even if they're out of the Champions League, the games are too tough for them, in my opinion.
I
So,
would want Villa to play in the Champions League though over Nottingham Forest, because Nottingham Forest will be found out next season.
yep,
Uh, like this season they are playing well, but it's one of like those Leicester City season type
correct.
where things are falling their way. But they will be found out. There will be some players leaving as well.
Yep,
Mm.
So Nottingham Forest won't, and they again, like if you look from other players' perspective, right? Like players who want to play in Europe, Nottingham Forest don't wouldn't look like an exciting opportunity for them. So
correct.
not many star
Mm.
players would want to come there. Aston Villa, they have history. Even Nottingham Forest have history in Champions League. They have won twice. But
Twice. Yep. Yep.
Aston Villa with their manager, with the budget that they have and the squad that they have, they look more appealing on the European stage, and they are proving that this season as well.
True.
Correct.
True.
You see
Yep.
And
players
then
like Rashford, Asensio,
Asensio,
and Daniel.
Morgan Roger.
So
Yeah,
Morgan Roy. So you see players who have played in Europe, who are capable of playing in Europe. So that would look like more attractive proposition for me. Like if it would have been me as a player would want to play in Champions League, I would want Aston Villa to be there.
yeah. And then the one thing which we forgot to mention, it Villa won 3-0 over the weekend,
Yeah,
despite missing two penalties by Asensio.
yeah,
And both of those penalties were literally pathetic. Literally
Horrible.
same side, horrible, same side of the post.
yeah.
Ramsdale was able to save both of them. So like Villa are on a roll, uh, but let's see, they do have those tough fixtures, and but if they're out against PSG, right, then they have nothing else
Mm.
to play for, except the FA Cup. So they are
FA
also in
Cup.
the FA Cup.
They do have. Yep.
So that's
Yep.
what I'm saying. Like they have that push right now, and Emery is a better manager, I'd say, than Nuno Espirito Santo.
Mm.
So
True.
he's been in those crunch situations. He
Yep.
knows how to handle his squad.
Yep.
So given that, I'd back Aston Villa to make it to top five.
Correct. And then last but not the least, so Bournemouth won 1-0 against Fulham. They are up to ninth, if I'm not wrong, at
Eighth.
48 points.
Bournemouth are
Eighth.
on
Yeah,
eighth. They're
eighth.
Sorry,
tied. They are tied with Fulham.
Fulham.
they're
Yeah.
tied with Fulham. Correct. One club I wanted to discuss in particular, right? So Wolves 4-2 versus Spurs.
Mm.
Do you guys think the might survive this?
It all
Depends
rests
this week.
on this week.
Depends on
Exactly.
this week result. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was actually looking at Frankfurt game on in Bundesliga. They won 3-0.
Mm.
Hugo
Tiki tiki.
Ekitike is playing amazing.
Yeah.
He had, I think, like a hand in all three goals. He scored the third goal. I think he assisted the first.
Hmm.
And looking at this performance, I don't think so. Tottenham are going to make it out of Europa this time.
It looks difficult, but then like I'd say, uh, Ange's future rests entirely on Thursday.
Hmm.
Yeah. But they will go all out. That's like their, just like United. It's their saving grace.
Yeah. For both
So
teams, United and Spurs,
for
like
both. Yeah.
Europe is the
Exactly.
only
So
place where they can save faces for the season. They can
True.
try to
yeah.
salvage anything.
The reward is 100 million, right? Because Champions League is literally a 100 million competition. So
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
reward is certainly there, but now it's just the
Reward
execution.
and the trophy itself, right? So,
Yeah,
uh, you know,
yeah. For Spurs, it's a big trophy, but
I mean, even
like
for United, it's trophy. Like it's Europe in
true,
the end, right?
true,
So,
true.
Some sort
as
of
a
top.
fan, like I'll be happy.
Yep, yep,
Not
exactly.
sure.
And Europa's stature has increased in the past few seasons. If you look at it, like many top teams are now playing in Europa too.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, especially after the Conference League has come into place, Europa looks like UCL in front of it.
Yeah, I think if Conference League is not won by Chelsea, then bye bye Maresca because
Yeah,
that is
Mm,
like a too easy of a competition right now for Chelsea at least.
yep,
But
because
yep.
that could be the main place that they get into. Like they will get into Europe, but like, uh, anyways, conference team makes it. Conference winner makes it to Europa, right?
Europa,
Europa.
correct.
Yeah,
Yep,
yep.
Okay. So
yep.
I don't think
If they
champion.
somehow fall off, I don't think so. They'll fall off though. Like they will qualify for at least Europa anyway.
They should
Good
qualify for Europa
standings.
because
Yeah,
the gap is 6 points.
Yep.
Six point.
Uh,
Yep, yep.
that looks difficult for the other teams to, especially at this point in the season. For teams like Brighton, Bournemouth, and Fulham, who are all tied on 48 to overcome that 6 point gap is
Yep,
a little
yep.
tricky.
Difficult, exactly. But again, considering there are three teams, it just increases the probability of
Yeah.
them catching up to like a Chelsea or someone else. So
Hmm.
it's not impossible, considering like the how the results are going.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if like a surprise just comes up, like if someone is able to make those 6 points.
It looks unlikely for me right now, but yeah, like you said, it's unpredictable. You never know what happens.
Yeah, even like we didn't give Leicester a chance against Brighton, but they still drew
Yeah,
2-2.
Yeah.
So
interesting
like
game.
that's the best part of the Premier League. Anything can happen. It's
True.
not all the time. Por favor, penalty Real Madrid.
Okay, I
Anyway,
guess we've covered most of the
yeah.
major games. Any game we left out?
I think we
No,
have covered everything.
Wolves
Yeah.
and Spurs, but we kind of talked about it a bit.
Yep, yep.
So I
Wolves
think we
winning
are good. Yeah.
So we've
4-2.
covered everything.
Tomorrow it's the Champions League again. Very very big night for a couple of teams.
Yeah.
And
Tomorrow it's Aston Villa PSG, right?
yes, tomorrow
Yeah,
it has Villa PSG.
and Barca. Yeah,
Barcelona, yeah.
I think Barcelona again, they might just hit Dortmund for a
another
bad
2-0
scoreline.
3-0. Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for them. The Barcelona are
I mean
just
they had the easiest opponent, to be
yep,
honest. Yep.
true,
But
true.
Dortmund
Dortmund
are
did
just
manage to
not.
draw two all at Bayern Munich away this weekend though.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, Bayern is not playing that well. Kane is having a stinker at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's not like which is they aren't like defeatable. I I kind of feel that tomorrow PSG might be given a tough time by Villa.
I predicted the game could go into extra time.
Mm.
If it goes, it'll be amazing because it's the battle of those two keepers.
Yeah. I
And Villa Park is a very tough stadium to go into in recent
true,
times.
true.
Yep, yep,
Yep.
yep. But PSG are amazing this season. Like, can you imagine having Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, and the best chance you get of winning it is with
With
Dembele?
youngsters like Barcola,
DU.
Dio.
And
Yeah,
French league actually made them skip their game this week.
yeah.
Oh, just for
That
the
was
rest.
like terrible, man. Like, how can you do that? They
And
postponed that game.
they could have literally forfeit the game. They are already title winners.
Yeah,
Okay, declare a 3-0 loss, but they're invincible right now. So they didn't even
Mm.
want to do that.
true.
But that
And
is so bad.
I think Madrid had asked the same, and then Tebas, the proper La Liga president, denied that you will not
If
get the same sympathy.
but if you do that for Madrid, you have other team as well, right?
Other team as well.
Barcelona, the
Yep, yep.
arch rivals. So even
Exactly.
they would demand like no postpone our game as well.
Exactly.
Madrid lost over the weekend, right?
No, they won 1-0.
They
They
won.
won one
Mbappe
nil.
got a red card, but
Mbappe got
they
red.
Yeah,
Mbappe
yeah.
yeah,
got red.
but they still won it.
I think Barcelona also won. So their
Yeah, 1-0. Both won
1-0.
point,
1-0.
yeah, point tell remains the difference
Yeah,
remains the same basically.
yeah.
But yeah, it was bad good week or good bad
Dep-
week.
Depends how you look at it.
But
Yep.
let's see. I'm excited for Champions League actually.
Same here. Same here. Go Villa.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Anyways,
Thank you for joining in,
Thank you
guys.
so
thank you
much,
for
and
take care.
please keep drinking tea.
Yeah.